Hello everyone, so tonight we're going to be reviewing 1993's Leprechaun. We're in for some fun.
I want me gold coin. Me coin. It's not nice to steal gold coins from a leprechaun. Bad shop owner. Bad shop owner. I'll be back. Now we're going to play. Do you want to play with me? Oh, no! No! This old lep, he played one. He played pogo on his lawn. Teach you to steal me gold. Oh. Can't have dirty shoes now, can we? There. Nice and shiny.
The first horror movies I ever seen, being Leprechaun, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Halloween, which I believe this is my very first films my mom actually let me watch, even though I'd watch them behind her back anyway. But she would openly let me watch this because she didn't think it'd be a scary movie, because she knew how they'd scare me and give me nightmares and stuff. But I'd be, not really care and still want to watch them anyway. So she thought it was about, just a leprechaun and it couldn't be really scary, but it scared the hell out of me, regardless of how funny she thought it would be, which it actually did intend to be funny, and it's still funny to this day, and I quite enjoy it. It stars Jennifer Aniston and Warwick Davis as the leprechaun, which, he's gone on now to be in really big budget films. But the film also stars Ken Olant and Mark Holton, which he's actually a really pretty talented actor. He was in indie film Gacy, where he plays John Wayne Gacy based on a true story, and he's really pretty good in that. But the story is about this guy who goes on a vacation, who steals this leprechaun's gold, and the leprechaun comes back to haunt him and get his gold back, and basically, well, you know the story, kills his wife, gives him a stroke, ends up locked in a crate, and then 10 years later, he, ends up getting out and then wreaks havoc on Jennifer Aniston and the rest of the crew. And I actually thought it was really creepy about this film when I first saw it. He used his claws and everything to get the job done, not his magic powers, which come in more in the later sequels. And this film is very rare of its corniness, and with it being sort of about a leprechaun, and with scenes with him throwing shoes at Leprechaun to get him to clean them to get away, and it's very self-aware, which helps the film also with it just being a pretty entertaining film, both being comical and having some pretty creepy elements for a younger audience anyway, but it's still enjoyable even as an adult. And even with the sequel, I really enjoyed with him basically trying to get a wife. He even goes to Vegas, which I think is really, it doesn't even explain how he gets there. He just gets dropped off at a pawn shop, and it doesn't really explain why he's iron now, and he's stuck with an amulet on him that can, unfreeze him, I guess. But that one still scared me too when I was watching it. It throws out all the horror and is a straightforward comedy.
Your butt is small, but still you're in for quite a fall. What are you talking about? Oh, well, didn't you hear? Bigger is good, but jumbo is dear. I'll give you boobs that come out to here. What are you doing to my baby? Those delightful lips. They'll get you some tips. But what about these? Are they big enough to please? What are you doing? A delightful little slut. But what about your butt? Feels like rain. Now that was quite a load to have to explode. What a lovely lass. I had to blow up your ass, but now I must hit the road.
which still, I mean, it's really entertaining. And it even goes up to 6 films, Leprechaun films, with 7, including the Origins, which really isn't canon with the other franchise because it has nothing to do with it. Don't go into this film expecting any, Oscar-worthy performance because you won't get none. But I mean, it's an enjoyable, horror, corny, not taking itself too seriously film. But if you have a dark sense of humor, this is the movie for you, or movies. And I'm a really big fan of the first 3. Which Leprechaun's face I thought was really dumb and not even worth making, but I did in fact like Leprechaun in the Hood, the first one. I thought was pretty, I mean, considering how far it went to the franchise, I've seen worse.
I come from the land of the Irish Spring. Dublin's the place where I learned my thing. From the Emerald Isle to your place in the hood, I'm the man of green, come to do no good. Lep in the hood, come to do no good. Lep in the hood, come to do no good. Blunt is dope, this place is hype. There's a lassie, she's just my type. I hate to resort so soon to marriage. Haven't been late so long, it's tragic. I'm so bad, I'm good.
But you got a lot of interesting kills in it. You got a bunch of gore. And Warwick Davis is, as I said, really great as Leprechaun. He's a really talented actor. And pretty much like Peter Dinklage, despite his size, he's gone far, and yeah, so that's pretty much my review. I hope you enjoy it and revisit the Leprechaun series. Yeah.
Mr. O'Grady, it's out. It's out of the crate.
You believe it? No one believed it was a leprechaun.
I believe it. How do we stop it?
There's only one way. One way to kill a leprechaun. But I'm not going to tell you.